Hello, this is Mike. Welcome to my channel. To the subscribers that subscribe to my channel, thank you. I appreciate it very much. If you get a chance, and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so eventually I can get up to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully. And anyway, I want to talk a little bit about older men and younger Filipinos that are married and kids. Me and my wife, we were married 4 years before we had our first child together. We just wanted to wait until the time was right and, make sure we're both on the same page about even having kids at the time, because we talked about not even having kids. So anyway, we had another Filipino family that lived with us when we were in the U.S. there in Bakersfield. And anyway, they had a little girl named Ia, and then later on they had JL. At that time, went to the hospital, and I got to hold that little baby, and I go, wow, I think I am up to this again. And I got thinking about, my other kids, which I have 3, and they're all grown. Matter of fact, my youngest just had a birthday. He's 41. And I thought about, how could I improve as a father? And I think my biggest downfall with my kids was not having the time to spend with them. And now my kids turned out great. They're married, got kids, family all of their own, never been in jail, don't smoke, don't do drugs or any of that. And so they really, turned out really well. But, I wish I would have spent more time with them. We did go fishing and camping, every now and then, but we could have did a lot more and a lot more things together. So anyway, we had Lucas here in 2018, and now he's 19 months old, and I've been able to spend, most of the time with him and see all the little things that seems like every day he picks up, and it's just amazing. So, there's a lot to be said about, older gentlemen marrying younger Filipinos and stuff, and then having kids too on top of that. What's in the future for them? Well, we had Lucas there in the United States, and what happens is you got to go down to the immigration office there it was in Southern California, I think Riverside, and you got to report his birth. But when you report his birth, that makes him dual citizen. So he's already a dual citizen for the United States and the Philippines. So we went there, got that all taken care of, and we got Jennifer's U.S. citizen, and then she had to redo her Filipino citizenship so she could be a dual citizen. And so we got that all taken care of. And this is basically, so if something happens to me and they decide that Lucas decided he wanted to go back to the United States and, work there or whatever, at least Jennifer could go with him. And so it wouldn't be, she couldn't go because she wasn't a citizen. So I wanted to make sure they both had the same options. So now I got this son, and, how long am I going to live? Well, nobody can answer that. And so what I've done is tried to make preparations where they will be okay. Whether it's life insurance, which I got, and they have a house here in the Philippines that's paid for, so they don't have no costs there. And so if something did happen to me, they're going to be fine. And that's one thing that was real important to me, because here I got this Filipina that loves me to death. I mean, she really does so much for me. She, I go outside, get a hat on, make sure you wear a hat. It's too much sun. If I go somewhere, oh, that's not safe, you need to go, to here, or take somebody with you. It's just the little things, always concerned about what I've ate, am I eating right? Am I, doing a little bit of exercise to help? And, it's all those little things that add up that, you can tell if somebody cares for you. And she really does. And, I love her to death. And Lucas, oh, he's amazing. This kid is so amazing. I mean, every day, he likes TikTok. He likes, the Coco Melons, and he likes the videos there, and he dances with them. And it's so cute. You're seeing this kid that really can't even talk yet. He's starting to pick up, a lot of words, and he understands Tagalog and English. And, that's kind of important, because I don't know any Tagalog, or very little at this stage. Hopefully I'll get better at it. But anyway, it was so important that I make sure that I spend the time with him. And it's like these videos. It's kind of going to be a videos, of our everyday life. Right now we're under lockdown, but we're not always going to be. And so we're going to be going to places and this and that. And I'm hoping, later on, if something was to happen to me, he could go back to these videos and see what kind of dad he really had. And I know we'll be making trips periodically to the U.S. when, we can fly again. And so he's going to still be able to see, the culture there, and also, visit his brothers and sisters there, and nieces and, cousins and all. So he's going to be able to see and make up his own mind when he grows up where he really wants to live. I'm not trying to push what I considered was the best choice for us. He'll have to make that when he's grown up. So anyway, I'm hoping he becomes a doctor or a lawyer. And that way, he can make a living here with that. And he wouldn't have to go back to the U.S., or he could go back to the U.S. and practice too. As far as that goes, he'd have to take the bar and everything over there and stuff, but he'd be able to do it. And so then we decided to come over to the Philippines to retire in December 2019. And anyway, Jennifer is pregnant again. So now, the first week of June, we're supposed to have another son. So we're going to have 2 sons. Well, that's going to be it. That's enough. We were hoping for a girl, but we'll take a boy any day. Because I did find out one thing. When you have girls, boys are cheaper to raise. And I don't know. It just seems like they're easier to raise than girls are. I think a parent worries more about the girls compared to the boys as they get up in age. Because, as parents, we always want the best for our kids. And so, that's one reason why we're here, because of this culture that's here, I think is a better way of life for my sons. And as far as schools and stuff, he'll be going to private schools, and all money that we ever get from YouTube is going to be in his college fund. And so that way he'll be able to go to private schools, and we'll just needle him along. Hopefully he'll go in the profession we want, but as parents, we all know they don't always do what we want them to do. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I want the option to be there too on that. Now that we're here, it's so much different for kids here. They're, all the kids play together, and they're always looking after each other, and every parent here is looking after the kids. It's not like, okay, yeah, you go over to Joey's house and be good and this and that, because they're going to get on to them just like you would. And, they're going to mind, and that's good, because nobody wants, their kid to misbehave when they go somewhere and stuff, and not be able to, be punished. They're not going to beat them to death, that's for sure. They don't hit around here anyway. But they will get on them and let them know that, they're doing bad. And so, anyway, they generally straighten out. These kids over here are absolutely well behaved. Most of these kids, I kid you not, it's a lot different, even in their schools. So, I'm thankful for that. And, he's going to have a good life here if he chooses to stay here, or when he goes back to the United States later on. It'd probably be, after I'm gone, and that's, fine with me. It's his choice. But, everybody is so worried, what are you going to do? Here you are, 63 years old, and you're having kids. That's crazy. And, but it's not strange here, because a lot of girls, their families get broken up so quick and easy here. The guy will take off and go to some other girl and start a family, so she's raising the kids up by herself anyway. And I'm not saying it's right, but who knows? I might be here, 20 years. Who knows? My dad's up there. He's 83 years old and still doing, things okay. He's not in the best health, but he gets around. He still sees things and goes on little trips and stuff. So hopefully I can too. And, get these kids raised up, at least, I'll know what direction they're going to be going and how they're doing and everything, and it'll be fine. Now, there's a lot of women that marry foreigners, and they're up in age, and there's, age gaps in there. There's actually 32 years, 13 days between me and my wife. But you'd be surprised how much we have in common. And, it really amazes me that we do enjoy as much stuff together as we do. So it's going to be something that's going to be on down the road, but eventually, our kids are going to be old enough where they'll know who I am and how I am and everything, and they won't need to, see the videos, but they'll be here. And I'm sure she'll, encourage them to, see them so they can see, how I was or whatever. And so if you're elderly, in your 60s, and you meet a Filipina and she has no kids, she might say she doesn't want kids, but she does. She really does. It's just in them. Every woman wants to be a mother, I think. And so, to actually, complete her too, you need to be willing to look at it. Now, I know there's a lot of people up in that age that, got vasectomies and stuff like that, and they can't have kids. But they know that going in. But if you're one that didn't, and you're just not, wanting to have kids, you need to look at finding an older Filipina that's already been through the kids or already has kids. And that way, the pressure won't be there in your marriage later on. And, that could destroy a marriage. It really could, because they're not completely happy. And I ask my wife all the time, what do you think we need to do to make our life better here? And, it'll be something simple, whether it's a table or something like that to play cards on or whatever. It's nothing big, nothing major. She's not into spending a lot of money, which we don't have a lot of money to spend. So we have to live off my Social Security, and we do okay. We don't have to worry about eating. We got a house. Power bill's a little expensive here, but what I say is expensive. I think our power bill was like $110 US dollars, which is quite a bit. Most Filipinos, it'd be lucky if it's $16, if that. So anyhow, I hope it enlightens you a little bit about having kids when you marry a younger Filipino wife, and think about it and really talk to her, because you don't want something that's going to come back later and be a problem in the marriage. You want to go right straight in and say, hey, this is it. This is the reason why. And she either needs to be okay with it or not okay with it and move on. So anyhow, I hope you like this video. I'll try to get pictures up there of Lucas, and so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This kid is something else. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. And I'm not saying it's for everybody, because, the thing is, everybody says, well, you can't go nowhere. Yeah, you can go somewhere. You just take them with you, and they get used to it. And then they, you'll see them doing things and you'll go, wow, I wish I would have caught that on film or something. Because it's either hilarious or it's something that, new he's doing, or for a minute he swims and you go, wow. So anyhow, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Have a good day.